Beef, why do you have such a problem with me?
Can we get the real Andy? I would prefer the real Andy.
Oh, let's get the real Max. I'll take off my mask when you take off your mask, brother.
Because who's your new favorite YouTuber, Ian, that wanted to be on the show with us?
The Madman. The Madman.
Mad Movie Man.
Let's bring on Max Movies because he scares the living shit out of me. Hold on.
Oh, wow.
Mad Max says, I think you should apologize. Right? I'm sitting here in a goddamn torn down pool house.
I don't even know who
The
you
pool house
are.
is torn apart. Okay, it's torn apart because I'm remodeling on my $70 webcam. Okay, I'm no better than you.
Movie Madness Entertainment.
Welcome, movie lover 1989. I'm glad you love movies. So do I. Appreciate you joining me. Yes, this is live, Michael Garvey. Hey, Michael, I missed you, bro. We got to connect for get back. I don't work tomorrow, but basically, I'm trying to get to sleep, and this is why I don't put Twitter on my phone, because I was, shutting down the computer. I did a couple clip outs from the previous live stream, set them for tomorrow, and I haven't. Oh, cool. All right. Well, thank you. What the hell is going on? Listen, a lot of my friends are like, Max won't stop talking about DC. I don't even know what I'm trying to. I like talking about it, but I'm not even paying attention to what's going on. And I check Twitter, and I know this. Hey, Anthony, how's it going? And I know this hashtag has been going around. So, Zack Snyder, or sorry, Warner Brothers should sell the Zack Snyder Justice. Maybe I should get some music going. I'll get some music going. I don't know. Maybe not. All right, I'll do this one for a little bit. Okay. So, Galia Productions, I was bullied by RJ on your stream. I will never forgive you. LOL. Bullied by RJ? Oh boy. Why am I up so late? Caden, you can pop in here real quick. I'm not going to be live long. I was about to go to bed. Thank you, Galia Productions. I really appreciate it. I'm going to talk with RJ. I hope RJ has a great week with his, get your ass in here, Caden. I need to know what the hell's going on. Anthony Beltry, Max, shake my head. Zach likes anything on Vero. I like Zack Snyder. I'm a fan, but I got to criticize that if he likes everything. That's what's going on here. Boy, but I have a headache. This music sucks. Sorry. There we go. Hey, Caden.
Hey.
Thanks for joining me. I just went live because I was shutting down my This music sucks. Let me turn down. All right. So, as much as my friends are like, Max is obsessed with Zack Snyder, I've been purposely not paying attention to this, this movement now where it's switched from first it was fire James Gunn, then it was Gunn and Safran are out, and now it's and I'm not making fun of people either. I know they're emotionally invested, and I know I'm not telling anyone else not to make fun of them, whatever. It's like anything's possible, I could say, but they are not going to let something be developed by another studio when they're trying to release their own slate to compete with it and cause more confusion. even if they could sell to Netflix, right? Right?
Well, the thing about that, as I said on Matt's stream, is that like if anything, the negotiation would be you can only use these characters that were in this
Thank
movie.
you, Gail Elliott Productions.
Like you can only use these versions of these characters, and also you can't use Deathstroke. That would probably be the negotiation if there ever was a negotiation.
Well,
You
I
can only
mean,
use these versions of these characters,
I'm not.
and
The bottom line is, I'm saying it's not impossible.
It's not
just
impossible,
super
but it's
unlikely, and
it's-
then it would create more brand confusion.
yes,
And
would create more
it
brand
wouldn't
confusion.
go along with what they want for the reboot because they do want it. You know, it's just
There's a lot.
so
to
I
go
have
through
to
it.
say, even as a Zack Snyder supporter and a super fan, and I know Anthony said he likes everything. I don't think he should like everything if he does do that on Vero, because
And also
I-
check the private chat.
that's fine.
Okay.
That's fine. I actually really have to pee, but yes, send it. I'm gonna talk to you and talk to the person that wants to, I'm gonna talk to whoever comes on the stream, and then I'm gonna go to bed. And I honestly did not watch Matt's stream either. I saw the topic and I was like,
I
but
mean,
I'm
it was
checking
more-
Twitter. I'm checking
more-
Twitter. Oh,
It
go
was
ahead.
more about like Skywalker and that, and like
Oh,
the new
okay.
geeks, and still like that whole thing.
Well, I've seen this. It's not impossible.
It's not impossible,
It's-
nor
it's-
is it. Like, it's one of those things where it's not impossible, but,
But
it's
it's-
also
I
like,
really doubt.
not 100% possible too. It's like in the middle where it's like it's the most unlikeliest thing to happen,
It's very
and it's gonna be,
nothing's
and it's also it's a very complicated negotiation thing.
yes.
like,
I mean, if they
Zach
did
doesn't want-
if they
if-
couldn't get it to work with Warner Brothers, I mean, it's more likely that a fan project would happen than to go to another company.
Yeah,
You know, go pee. No, I'm not gonna go pee, Gail Elliott. I'm gonna hold it. I'm gonna hold my Wii. I've been talking about the Wii a lot. I'm gonna hold my Wii to talk about this quick subject, and then I'm gonna go to bed. But I don't. Even if
because-
he likes everything on Vero,
yeah,
that
that's one
is
thing
becoming a
also
problem.
I noticed is that like if the person probably didn't put Stone Quarry Productions or whatever that hashtag for Stone Quarry was, then he probably wouldn't have liked it. Honestly,
I'm holding my Wii. Hold on, let me see. But I can't stand by this one though. I'm like, come on, man. And I love Zach, but come on, don't give this. This is becoming embarrassing, and I'm not going to make fun of them. I know everyone else wants to make fun of Zack Snyder fans. I am a Zack Snyder fan, but this, I don't use Vero. I downloaded it once because I knew Zach used it. I never went back. But that's the only. I'll
yeah,
be real.
I
That's
only
the,
go back
with it-
there
that's-
like once
that's-
a month.
That's when I downloaded it. Is when the Zack Snyder's Justice League was becoming like people were talking about it. It was becoming more likely that it was real. To like even the studios admitting it. So I downloaded Vero then, but I never go on there. But liking everything, sell Zack Snyder's Justice League to Netflix, Stone Quarry Productions, and their hashtagging. That's not good. Hey, Matt.
What up?
I like Zack. I love Zack Snyder, but I don't like. This is, and it's not impossible. But this is not good. This is stupid.
Yeah, it's all cope. It's all cope.
Well, I mean, I wasn't even paying attention to this stuff, but I don't want to see this on Twitter. Like, this is, I would rather them say fire James Gunner, Peter Safran, and James Gunner. I mean, that's more likely than this. I mean, it's more likely that maybe stockholders are actually upset that, and that's they're probably going to stick to their guns, stick to the gun. James Gunn. They're probably going to stick to that plan, but it's more likely that James Gunn made that people, that Warner Brothers was assholes like, hey, we got a lot of backlash by that, and they make him slow down a little bit than for this scenario to happen.
Yeah.
But
Well,
like I
here's.
said,
Oh, go ahead again.
it's the least likeliest thing to ever happen, and it's the most complicated thing to ever negotiate. If like, it'd be
wait,
like,
okay, so I do know some people. So he's saying Zach noticed, and I still like Sil, and I'm not bashing Sil, but whatever. But he's promoting the Zach notices. Like I do feel like if you have a platform, if you should kind of like be a little bit more critical of some things than your audience a little bit, but he's just going
Right.
along with this part. Zach notices, like, encouraging, like, I haven't even watched Sil and Mikey this week. Does Mikey say this is a good idea too? Like, what the hell is going on here? Who's promoting this? Is it
Well,
Skywalker started it,
Skywalker started it?
and then he went to Seoul to talk about it, and then he goes on his own channel and had like 2 streams about it. Mikey said he's gonna cover it, and like, this is really good, guys. I'm gonna cover this story or whatever.
Yeah. Here, I'll show you the screenshot of that because I have it right here.
That's
So if you look at the screenshot, you can see Mikey Sutton right there, wrenched. I'll have to cover this story.
it's just this. I'll have to cover the story.
So
Yeah.
what does that tell you? It's like, oh, he's going to be in on it as well.
Well, I have this article up that even we got this covered thinks it's.
I mean, Screen Rant covered it too. Like,
Screen Rant barely covered it though.
oh yeah,
The man,
yeah,
the
like,
Snyderverse to be sold to
paragraph.
Netflix exists somewhere between desperate and delusional.
Wow.
This is even we got this covered.
That's crazy for we got this covered. Usually they're
Right.
off on
That's
that
why I
stuff.
thought. That's why I thought it was like news. I'm like, oh man. Listen, I'm still sad all the time too when I think about my fandom, but or my love of these movies. But I don't want to see this. Come on, it's not.
Well, so I will, because I mean, we just spent 2.5 hours like roasting them. Like,
I didn't even watch 1 minute of it, so I'm like, I'm trying to go to bed. I looked at Twitter right before I'm like, and I get
you missed the funniest thing of the year so far.
what?
It's RJ's new nickname.
oh my god.
What?
So it's Snorlax with a hard X.
Ooh.
Oh no, you gotta find that clip.
Saggy.
Someone should clip
Yeah,
that
you gotta
out.
find the clip because Saggy, wow,
It was funny.
It was funny. It was very funny.
Oh my god. This is the thing that's gonna be. This is like, honestly, you know what? This could be a good thing. You know why? I don't see the same amount of people supporting
and
this
another
hashtag
thing-
as the last few.
Right. But
And then
another
this is gonna probably be the last thing.
another thing that Skywalker
This is the
said
last.
that
This is the
he
last
said-
hashtag.
Yeah, he said he wants everyone to be more positive with this hashtag, and actually don't put the fire James Gunn stuff and the James Gunn out stuff in your hashtags. When you
Oh,
post
we don't
it.
know. We don't know. We don't know who's behind this one. It's the same people. Oh,
Yeah.
James Gunn's not going to realize if we're positive in this one.
And
Well,
we
see-
spin it. I'm like, that's the thing. Like, that means you kind of admit that you were being kind of toxic and negative before, and now you're trying to be more positive. Like, whatever.
Well, are they trying to like suck up to James Gunn to do this? I don't
No.
know.
They're
No.
trying to suck up to Netflix.
Even if they got this done, I don't. You don't know that. I don't know that Henry Cavill wouldn't do it. But like, say they do, I don't think Cavill would go. I'm not going to go on Netflix after they embarrassed me.
Yeah,
Be Superman
that's
again.
the thing. Another thing, also, like, he's at Amazon. I'm sure he has, like, some deal with them now as well. So it's like, no, I'm sure he's not gonna mess with them.
No, why would he doesn't have a reason to.
No, he doesn't.
I mean, do we know I've heard consistently that Netflix did approach them at the beginning about the Zack Snyder's Justice League, but that's a different scenario.
Yeah, that was like
And
a while ago.
And
that was like
that's all rumors. Like, I don't know.
that
if
was
there's
like the first
concrete
time they
proof,
approached
though.
Zack.
Yeah.
Like when they were talking about Army of the Dead.
Yes.
They were like,
okay.
"Oh, what can you bring to us? Like what do you have?" And I think he mentioned the Snyder Cut, and then they're like, "Oh, can we stream that?" And like it was like like one of those type of questions where it's like they don't really know if they can or not, but whatever.
Well,
It was
I
like
mean,
a quick thing.
is Rebel Moon? It could do a lot.
I mean, that's the thing.
for
Also, like he has
Netflix.
Rebel Moon, he has Planet of the Dead. Like he has so much.
Well,
like,
I
stuff.
will admit, I am a big Zack Snyder fan. I like a lot of his movies. I like all his movies. I enjoy all of them. There's not one like that I hated. But after rethinking like Army of the Dead, it wasn't mid or anything. It was above average. It's just I haven't felt the need to go back to it at
Right.
all, like his other movies.
Well, I think with Army of the Dead, it's kind of a weird take, but I feel like when we finally get info on Planet of the Dead and that comes out, it will kind of reignite that, like Avatar 2 did for Avatar 1.
Sure.
Because it's just the setup where it's like, here's the world, we haven't explained all the rules
Right.
yet,
I mean,
but there's some stuff here to take a look at.
what's going on with Las Vegas?
I
Like
don't
that
know.
was supposed to come out last year.
I didn't even finish the I actually really enjoyed the spin-off movie, but I never finished it because I like the character. I was really enjoying it at the beginning. I just never went back to it.
I haven't even, believe it or not, I haven't even tried watching it. Part of the reason why I never tried watching it was I got really disillusioned with the Snyder fandom. It's like, you have to make this a great movie, blah blah blah, and you're like, it's just a spin-off movie about like a heist before a zombie outbreak.
Do you think Zach knows what he's doing when he's liking this stuff?
Yes, 100%. I don't.
What would be the purpose of him doing this? And I don't want to villainize.
Because he'll never say no to
Zach.
somebody who's a paying
No, but
customer.
that's not saying no. That's encouraging, in a small way.
Yeah, but he knows. Look, here's the thing. After a while, we have to realize that like there's a certain psychology that has to be discussed here, which is you've got someone like Zach who has spent the last 6 years now being this victim, right? He has, if you think about it, right? It's true. Like he got his daughter died, his movie taken away because of that, and everything else. And he was mad, and he had every reason to be mad. And then he came out and he created this, he helped kind of push this movement that very, very much saw a success, but that's never been enough. He still has kind of trolled a little bit, and he's still like never denied it. He knows how the fans are. He's looked the other way on a lot of that shit, and I think a lot of it is very much just because he does not want Warner Brothers to succeed. I think he has this very perpetual and justified anger towards them.
I can understand that if I lost my daughter, it would be very hard to overcome those feelings too. That's all I could say.
But it's not like Warner Brothers didn't kill her. That's what I'm saying.
No. Well, no, they didn't.
No, there's no they didn't.
I'm saying no, they did absolutely did not. I'm saying, but the way they handled her, the death situation was horrible.
The way they handled it was like a business doing something very shitty. That's the reality of it. It's like they're like, we have a release date. Because it's not like they can't just stop it, Max. That's the whole point. It's like there's so much money that's invested at that point. And Kate knows what I'm talking about. There's all the contracts. There's all the
studio would delay the project.
No, not every other legit studio. You don't know that.
Disney. Yeah, you're right. I don't know that, but I would.
We have a movie right now that's called Borderlands that didn't set a release date, and it was smart of them to not set a release date, because if they did, they would have to rush this reshoots that are happening right now even more. Because
because they're doing 2 weeks of reshoots, where you've got what's his name,
and it's a lot
Tim
of
Miller.
stuff to shoot in 2 weeks.
Well, here's where I'm frustrated right now. is I'm going to bed and I'm looking at this and then I see I'm like, no, someone just made a fake approval of Zack. I thought it was fake. I'm like, no, he wouldn't have done that.
You can't see on the website. Like, you'd have to go, if you have the app, you might be able to see it.
Yeah.
I don't have a Vero app.
And then I saw like the usual suspects saying, "Oh, look, it's approved. Let's go. And then I see Sil also, and then I'm like, oh God, because I really thought someone just made, it's Twitter, I thought someone made a fake. Obviously, you could Photoshop this from a previous thing he liked. I'm like, no, and I'm like, oh God, but I honestly think this is the last hashtag. I don't.
No, it's not.
I don't see. Well, that gets. I think the ones before you saw trending. I don't think this is going to get trending.
Well, let me. Well, they're pushing for February 14th. That's the whole thing they want to do. But I mentioned this on my stream. Okay, there's one other alternative here. There's one other option, and Cell's laying the groundwork for that right now. It really is. What is the one studio that even Grace Randolph thinks that they're going to sell Warner Brothers to?
Universal, right?
Uh-huh. Who was the studio that greenlit Zack's first movie?
I'm guessing it was Universal.
It was Dawn of the Dead. Universal Studios or Universal Pictures
I'm
release.
a fan of the movie, but I didn't know Universal didn't. Okay.
Universal, because they had the rights to the Of the Dead stuff. Yeah. So that's what the narrative is going to be. After this fails, right, and they realize that it's not going to happen, someone will go, and even I'm sure Sil is kind of thinking that himself. Well,
Anthony
they could.
says you post a picture of a car and with Batman, Zack would like it.
Yeah.
Not a lot of people are like that on his social media. That, especially people in the industry liking a lot of things. Okay, I want to see what people are saying here. So there's no hope for you and then he's like, doesn't affect you at all. So, hey, Chubby Teddy. I love Chubby Teddy. I know people are going to, let's do this. Well,
Chubby Teddy is so far down the rabbit hole.
He's great though. Who cares? Like, if you really, ultimately, I'm like, this, I doubt this is going to work. I'm not retweeting this one. I didn't really, I retweeted one about the James Gunn fire just because there was something else that I wanted to keep track of my Twitter history, but I wasn't like actively using the James Gunn fire or, even though I'm not happy with James Gunn, I'm not gonna carry that hashtag, but I'm not carrying this hashtag. And I really hope that there's no more encouraging from Zack, but he's a grown man. I'm not gonna tell him what to do. It's just, man, I thought someone doctored it. When I mean, saw that.
we have no way of, I have no way of confirming it. So,
yeah.
Maybe like, it's not hard to doctor those things. I could easily doctor those things, but
we know for a fact that the cool table is where this originated from.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy, I didn't know that.
Oh no, that's the whole thing. It's like we were laughing at them tonight. It's just like super crazy how cringy all this shit is.
I still like the cold table, but I don't know if this is cool. This is set, Hey, if they get it to work, I'm not gonna, but I don't think it's gonna work.
Oh, it's not.
If they actually accomplish it, though, I'll applaud them.
Even the guy who created the release the Snyder Cut hashtag was making fun of them. Like, no,
really?
guys. Yeah. He was like, I tweeted him. He retweeted it. I said, look what you started.
Who's
Viking movies that Mayer, whatever his name is.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
He's a cool guy. He's a cool. We talked for a couple of years now. He's a nice guy. But no, it's just like, even he's like kind of laughing at it. Like, a lot of people are just laughing at this because it comes across as just desperate. It's just desperate. It's like, no, we lost. We didn't lose, guys. We did it before. We'll do it again. This is, I hate to say Jody's Corner was right. But when Jody's
How dare you get off my screen?
When Jody's Corner said, give a mouse a cookie, this is what he was talking about. This is exactly what he was talking about. It's been 2 years. In 2 months, it will be 2 years, and they haven't let go.
even if they
And
can
you
make
haven't let
this,
go.
Me?
You're mad at James Gunn, so yes, you haven't let go.
I'm mad at I'm not mad at him specifically. I'm mad at the whole industry, how they can't work together and steer the ship right, where they always have to this is also what happened with Star Wars sequel trilogy. Other directors, when they have a vision, they can't work together, and it makes everything suffer. And I'm not convinced that they had to do this. It was definitely one option, I admit that, but I still don't think they had to do it. So but I don't put it just like Matt Reeves. And I know I don't want to get in another debate with you about what happened with Matt Reeves, and he was originally in the room to talk about reworking the Batfleck script. And then he's like, I'll do better if I do my own thing.
Well, that's because Affleck had also dipped out.
Does. I know. There's other scenarios there. He was also in the rehab. Yes. But this is basically par for the course. A lot of these directors have a lot of, they have strong takes, and maybe it's impossible. Maybe it's hard. It's not impossible. It's harder for them to take someone else's work and rework it instead of doing a blank canvas to really put their,
when it's been failing as long as it has been. And I think that's something that has to be looked at. Like, your personal opinions of the movies aside, looking at the box office, it hasn't done great. I mean, the thing is, again, talking about like Superman and Batman and Wonder Woman, there's no denying that Justice League and Wonder Woman 84 were both fundamental failures. And on regards to storytelling, Wonder Woman, 84 did 200 million, I think, worldwide or something like that. Like, I mean, granted, it was pandemic, right? But what I mean is, like, the response to Justice League in that 2-hour Frankensteinian movie, it destroyed so much, even though the Snyder cut was far fucking superior, far better. It's so great.
The thing I'm worried about too is when the last time, and I still really respect Ray Fisher's talent, but his social media presence, I can't stand behind anymore. I'm not like trying to cancel the dude or mock him. I just can't I told you guys, I've been consistent with the moment I stopped retweeting his stuff is when they did it. Independent researcher, they said remedial action, and he wouldn't accept that. And he said that I'm not going to work with Walter Hamada. I think that was too far. But it feels like the combination of Zack liking this type of stuff, and then also Ray Fisher going hard at James Gunn, that they are extremely still salty there. Not even the fans, still Zack and Ray in tandem, and they work together. They're working on Rebel. You know what I mean? It's just like, I hope not. I hope they're still not. I hope they could also move on. But
Ray Fisher doesn't care. You have to understand that. Like, Ray Fisher has openly said, I don't care if I go work at McDonald's. Like, he's like, I think he's even on Broadway right now. He's doing something on Broadway. That's where he's happier being. That's literally about it. Like, he's just happier being there. So he doesn't care about going back into the Hollywood fold. He's just, he might be beleaguered by it. I think he has some legitimate criticisms and legitimate issues with the, with the industry. Absolutely. But his way of going about it is just like, he's just, instead of compromising and coming to the table and realizing that this is business, and this is how things have to be done sometimes, he's just decided to try to take his toys and go home. And everyone's like, all right, here we go. Like, go. We're just like, okay, you had good faith. That faith is now gone. That goodwill is now gone. Because he just doesn't shut the hell up. And the fact is, when they canceled Batgirl and he said nothing, that to me was proof positive that he doesn't care. Doesn't care.
Yeah, that was like him not saying anything about Batgirl, and that was like, wow.
I'm not gonna bad talk these two men. I'm just disappointed. Like I feel bad if there's if even he with liking this, would suggest that potentially, like, yeah, give it a shot. I'm like, really? Okay.
Right.
But remember, I've said this multiple times, and every time at the end, I'm proven right. Zack doesn't care about anything other than himself in regards to this. He has openly stated he won't say no to a paying customer. He's openly defended the worst parts of the fandom. He has.
This isn't, well, he's hasn't openly defended, but this isn't saying no. This is encouraging. There's a difference there. He's not like leaving.
Well, he
it
hasn't
open.
said no either. You know, there was a clip I saw. Dave the Film Junkie put up a short the other day, and it had a bit from when Zack was on the vodka stream. I just don't know what episode it was, and they were talking about Project Justice League, and Zack basically said like, no, it's totally different, but this might be your only time to ever really see a sequel. He says that. He said that in the thing. It's on one of Dave's shorts, and it's like, there you go. I think that's as much indication as you need. It's him not saying that. It's him not directly saying it.
I remember that, and I really enjoyed Project Justice League finale, and that was a great thing.
I haven't seen either part 1 or part 2 yet.
No, it's really good.
No, I want to. It's like I want to do it on stream with people.
It really has. I know you're jaded, potentially because, like, just like you said, the Army of the Dead spinoff. You're like, you didn't even want to watch it because you're so, you get annoyed with. But this is the best parts of the fandom that did this. It really wasn't even covered by certain aspects of the fandom that get more toxic. It wasn't even covered much over there. And it was a great thing. I watched it a couple times. Definitely.
No, I've heard good things about it. It's not that I don't want to see it. It's that I just have not been able to.
I think like a CG continuation of a CG looking Cavill and Affleck is more likely than Netflix right now, but
I don't think. The thing is though, they're not going to want to. They don't want to go back to that well. That well has been pumped dry, right? It's been pumped dry. They put the movie out 2 years ago, right? 2 years ago, and it's like, I mean, honest to God, the Last Jedi discourse has like died before 2 years, in many instances. You know, it's just like, I think that's the biggest problem is the people that are still trying to push this, they got what they wanted, but they don't realize that like there's nothing there. And everyone's been telling them there's nothing new that's been filmed. There's no deals that are in place. The Black Adam thing was a push by Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson to help bolster ticket sales, as well as his standing within the company and his attempt to take over. I mean, even Humberto Gonzalez the other day, when that article dropped from Variety talking about the way The Rock, that he had tried to carve out his piece, he tweeted out, Hiram Turtle Garcia thought he could take over DC Studios or something like that. And that's exactly what I was saying, is like, obviously they were setting up Hiram to take over DC to run their game.
Oh, hi, Isaac. I've seen that. I've seen just as many tweets about that as the other one. Just to give everyone, I'm giving like a 10-minute warning. I didn't plan. I'm planning to do a quick topic. I was like, oh my God.
This isn't a quick topic because there's a lot there to go into.
No. I mean, just about the Zack Snyder part.
I see.
And I was like, really? Because I thought it was fake. And I was like, oh.
Well,
God.
let me ask you this then. So, do you think that Netflix will budge at all? That they'll come to the table?
Here's my thinking. I think it's plausible that they originally wanted to buy the Zack Snyder's Justice League before HBO Max agreed to it. But for example, if they could work this out, it'd be like a licensing deal. So I would think it's similar to when Netflix did Marvel shows and they did the Daredevil and they did all that. Why would they want to do something like that again, where they do the hard work of making a good product, license it out and pay for years to have it, and eventually reverts back to the owner? Well, I don't know if they could own it and perpetually own it if they develop it. I would assume be similar to the Marvel Netflix shows, where they could pay for it, develop it, and make it for years, and then eventually it'll just go back to who owns it. Like Disney now owns those shows. Really, they're airing them on Disney Plus. You know,
I think Disney had to pay though to get those back over off of
Oh,
Netflix.
really?
Yeah. So Netflix would have had the distribution rights in perpetuity for those seasons, however many that they did. The
Okay.
development of the show was done through ABC Studios, ABC Television Studios. That was also being done in association with Marvel, overseen through Marvel Television, that was run by Jeff Loeb. And that was it still was produced by Marvel, by ABC, by the company, but their licensing is kind of like The Big Bang Theory was on CBS, but it was produced through Warner Brothers Television.
But I see my just opinion is after that scenario that Netflix would it be a hard sell for them based on something like that. It's not exactly the same, but like develop a show or develop a continuation, and then you have to pay licensing, and then you have to pay for the production. And I guess they could have some type of cut, is what you're saying, but I don't know. It just seems like a lot of work for little, just to see the continuation. And I do think there was a market for the continuation of it, but for that large for Netflix to also get involved, I don't know.
Well, do you think? But I think right now what we're going to see is that they're going to go a completely different direction. Like Netflix is at a point where they're, I think, going to start really trying to curate content, and so by going after this particular direction, I think what we're going to see, they're not going to want to go and deal with that shit. Like it doesn't make any sense to try to push that agenda any further.
And I think if they were actually serious back in the day to offer to buy it, that they wanted that there was still the question of it even existing, and they wanted to be like, oh, we do know it exists.
Yeah.
We're the ones that brought it to the public. They wanted that marketing, and now that part of that's gone, so I don't think it's as much of a sell as it used to be. Is like, oh, like Netflix used to save shows back in the day, or they made that Cloverfield sequel and they announced that on the Super Bowl and you can watch it now. They wanted the impact of that.
They bought that for $40 million from Paramount. Like it was already done. Paramount actually, like the budget was $50 million on that movie. Paramount sold it for $10 million less than the budget, but they could write off that $10 million, right? Like it actually saved Paramount money.
Yeah. So, but my point with that is just it's significantly less hype than there would have been now that we know the Snyder Cut exists, and there's a lot more hype surrounding that than the continuation. Even though I'm still excited, I would still be really on board, and I think there's a market for the continuation. It's not as big of a get as it would have been for Netflix then.
I don't think I think if this was Netflix 2016 or 2018 even, like when after the cancellation of the Netflix shows, but that was maybe even before then, 2015 to 2016, when those were doing pretty good. If they would have come on in and tried to swing something with that, it could have worked out. But I mean, after BVS kind of crashed and burned at the box office, the problem is though, what we have to realize is that the fan base here simply does not want to take no for an answer. And they need to come to closure with it. And the only person that's going to give them that closure is Zack. And if Zack doesn't say anything, then that is the worst part of it. That is the biggest fail, because he's giving false hope to people.
What? I don't think he needed to say anything. He was doing his own thing, but doing stuff like this, liking it, is like, oh God.
Come on. At this point, don't you think he just needs to say something?
I think he just never mentioned it again.
That's kind of almost like I don't know, man. I don't think you can.
I
realistically
honestly
believe that's going to be.
I do remember that clip that the Film Junkie showed. I thought that was a pretty good, definitive. Yeah.
I mean,
this
he
is
may
your,
not.
This is your way to see it end. Is go see Project Justice League. He was like,
It's such an easy get out of jail free card for him too. Like literally.
What would just jail? Is jail?
No, but get out, dude. It's a term. It's a
I know, but
it's a get out of jail free card in regards to saying like, oh yeah, guys, it's not moving forward, but this is a great way to see it through to the end. So they could easily do that, and then that's kind of the whole. They could, I mean, Caden, I think you agree with me on that one. That would have been like an excellent way to end it right there. You have the perfect out. But then,
what's the perfect out?
By him using Project Justice League to just say that it's over.
Oh, yeah.
You know, because
I
you're
mean-
giving them something for them to watch.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is that, like, that little bit, like, oh, Project Destiny might be the only way you'll be able to see the finished product, and that's the only mention that he ever mentions it ever again, and doesn't even, like, and it had to be brought up to him, you know, on that, and it was, like, a quick thing.
Sell Jarbo.
So it's like,
What, sell me to what? I mean, I would take the money. Dude, like one of the largest corporations on the planet, I could get some good money for me.
but yeah,
Recast Charpo with Andy Signor. That's funny.
I just
I just wish more.
I don't
people
like
would-
accepting no for an answer, but they gave a like when the whole debacle with Cavill. I don't know how you could overcome that again.
Yeah, do you think Cavill would ever want to come back?
No, I don't think so.
yeah, no, he's not gonna go.
I mean, if you gave him
Netflix.
enough money, I guess it's possible in the future. But at that point, it's not going to be what he wanted either. He wanted to do a more positive, like if they bring him back in Kingdom Come or like have him an old Superman, that's probably not what he wanted either, right? He wanted to be the prime Superman and the prime time, positive, hopeful, not an older, you know. Oh well, I'm all over the place. It's almost 4. We share our final thoughts, and I'm gonna go pee and go to bed. I'm holding it because I was like, oh, I'll just make a quick video on this because this is I'll give my thoughts. Oh boy, go check out Matt's whole stream. He did like an hour or 2 on this.
We did like 2.5 hours total, but a lot of that stuff.
Yeah,
It got derailed a bit.
a couple times.
Couple times, yeah. I tried keeping it on point, but then like Saggy showed up and this made the whole thing worse.
Yeah,
Okay, well,
it was funny.
Yeah, it was.
hey, if you pull it off, go right ahead. But I'm not carrying this hashtag, and
Yeah, no. Oh, Jarbo, tell him the hashtag we're gonna do.
Oh yeah, so we're gonna run a competing hashtag, and it's gonna be sell Snyderverse to Universal. That's gonna be the competing hashtag. So we're gonna use it now, and try to amplify it.
There's only so many mergers and stuff that can happen with them. Like, okay,
In the next 20 years, Disney will own everything.
So by the time Zach is nearly 80, they'll own it all, and he can finally do that Marvel DC crossover film
When he's 80.
that his best friend James Gunn pitched. We can get it made, folks. We can get it in
James
20
Gunn
years.
writes it, and then
James Gunn writes it.
and then it'll be the last film they ever do together. And in general, you know.
Yeah, there you go. There you have it.
go to bed, you psychos. Oh, it's 4 a.m. Thank you
That
for
is 4
watching.
a.m.
I'm going to bed. Wow. I'm gonna try to find something else to talk about tomorrow. Bye, everyone.
Oh, so you're gonna do something tomorrow.
What? Oh, it is tomorrow. Well, at least I'm off. I'm off work.
Technically, you did stream on Monday.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah, you liar, Max.
My wife wants to go somewhere, so I got to get to bed in the morning.
Is it a holiday tomorrow or something, or what?
No, it's because...
You're live, by the way. You're still live, by the way.
Oh yeah. It's because
I don't know if you're gonna take off your mask or not.
No. Well, I'm not on camera, but I didn't get any days off during the holidays, so they gave me floating because because you know the Christmas and New Year's were on Sundays.
Oh, I see.
So we had low staff was Mondays, and I got the floating holiday, and I'm like, well, I'm going to take it the first weekend I can in January. So tomorrow, yay! So I got to get to bed. I don't want to sleep all morning. I do, but that's not. My wife wants to go do a few things since I'm off. All right, good night, everyone. Bye, or good morning. Sell Snyderverse to Lucas. Yeah.